Hey, fellow problem solvers, Colfax Math here. Today I have a challenge test for the ASVAB military placement exam, specifically the mathematical knowledge portion of it. I would call these 5 pretty hard problems. I would have paper out in front of you, pencil, pause the video, try the problem before I do the problem, unpause the video, watch how I solve it. I have a lot of tips and tricks to help you through these difficult problems. They are no calculator and it is a time test, so you're about a minute per problem. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started on number 1 here. Pause video, give it a try, unpause, watch how I do it. All right, a tank has a radius of 3 feet and a height of 10 feet. If the tank is currently filled to 80% of its capacity, how many cubic feet of water in the tank? A couple things I do is I highlight the important words, numbers, and I notice that my units are all the same. I look down at my answers and I see there's a lot of disparity in my answers. However, these two are pretty close. First part of the problem is find the area of a circle. Area of a circle is equal to pi r squared. I have that radius of 3 feet. I plug it in there. 3 times itself, 9. 9 times pi. They say use 3.14 for pi. I'm just going to round down to 3. So I have 3 squared, 9. 9 times 3, 27. Area of that circle is 27. Height of the cylinder is 10 feet. Volume of a cylinder is base area times height, or 270 cubic feet. I don't want that whole amount. I only want 80% of that amount. If I had to guess right now, this is going to be more than 100%. I'm going to cross that one out. I would guess answer D, because those two are pretty close. But let's go ahead and multiply it out and see. I want to multiply it by 80%. That's like having the decimal here, and you go over 1, 2 to get 0.8. So I'm going to multiply it by 0.8. That's going to give me 0, 56, carry the 5, 16, 21. Decimal places over 1. I get 216. It's not up there, but remember I rounded down to 3. So I'd expect my answer to be a little bit lower than the actual answer on the test. Correct answer, answer D, right there. 1 for 1, hopefully. Moving right along here to number 2. Again, pause the video, give it a try. Unpause the video, watch how I do the problem. Contractor needs to mix concrete using 1 part cement, 3 parts sand, 5 parts gravel. If the contractor needs to produce 2,700 pounds. Look at my answers. They're kind of all over the place. Let me convert that paragraph into a graph. I could see I have 1 part cement, 3 parts sand, 5 parts gravel, for a total of 1 plus 3 plus 5, 9 total parts. My total weight is 2,700 pounds. How do I get from 9 to 2,700? Well, 9 times 3 is 27, and then I got 2 more zeros. So I multiply by 300 to go from my 9 parts to 2,700 pounds. I do that same thing here. Cement times 3 is 300. Sand, 3 times 3 is 900. 5 times 3 is 1,500. I can see they're all going to add up to that 2,700. And then how many pounds of sand are required? Sand is this one. So 900 pounds of sand. Correct answer, B, right there. You 2 for 2 so far. Let's move forward on to number 3. Pause the video, give it a try. It's a pretty hard one. Let's go ahead and figure it out. I'm only going to do this portion first, and then I'll do this portion second. I have 1 term times another term. I have to FOIL that out. That is first terms, outer terms, inner terms, and last terms. FOIL is a mnemonic device. Do you remember that? So let me do that. Let me multiply my First terms together, 2x times x is 2x squared. My outer terms, 4 times 2x is 8x. My inner terms, negative 3 times x. And my last term, negative 12. It's looking kind of complicated like the bottom one, but we got a lot more to do still. Let's do the second part here. Let's do this portion now. Here I need to distribute that negative 2x through that quantity. So negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times negative 1 is positive 2x. So I FOILed this out, expanded it, distributed it here. Now I got to combine all my similar terms. 2x squared minus 2x, those cancel, meaning this answers out. 8x minus 3x is 5x. 5x plus 2x is 7x. It's got to be answer C. And then I have this, and this combined, and I still have that negative 12, dissimilar terms. That's as far as I could go. Answer C. Are you 3 for 3? You have no idea what I'm talking about. Another option as well is I got a lot of videos to help you kind of build these skills. This is kind of just straight out of the algebra classroom, so it might be a while since you've last seen it. I have a book available on Amazon, links in the description, 25 chapter book with 25 corresponding videos, so I walk through this whole book with you. Really starts at the very beginning and walks you through all of the math you need to do well on a standardized math exam. All right, hopefully you're 3 for 3, but don't be intimidated if these are a little too hard. Again, these are on the harder side of the math knowledge portion of the ASVAB. Let's move on to number 4. Problem number 4 right here. If 3 to the power of x plus 1 equals 81, what is the value of x squared minus 2x? Well, there's a lot to this problem right here. The first part is you have to solve this. I recognize 81 is the power of 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 3, 81. So this is 3 to the 4th. That means if the bases are the same, the exponents have to be the same. So that means x plus 1 has to be equal to 4, or x is equal to 3. Now that I have that value for x, I plug it in here, and I get 3 squared 9, minus 2 times 3 is 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. Correct answer is answer A right there. Again, I changed this into a base of 3 and made it 3 to the 4th. I know this is a non-calculator test, so I know I'm looking for some sort of tip or trick. So that's what I did there. Okay, let's move on to our last problem. See if we're 5 for 5 here. So on this one, a train travels 240 miles at a certain speed. I don't know what that is. If the speed had been 20 miles faster, the trip would have taken 2 hours less. What was the original speed of the train? A lot of words, hard to even decode what they're even trying to say. I think I'm just going to pick numbers and plug them in and try. So a train travels 240 miles at a certain speed. Let's say it's 40 miles per hour. At 40 miles per hour, 40 will go into 240 6 times to give me 6 hours. If the trip would have taken 2 hours less, so 4 hours, if the speed had been 20 miles per hour faster, so now I'm going to go 60 miles per hour, right? 20 miles per hour faster, 60 miles per hour. 60 goes into 240, 4 hours. So at 40 miles per hour, it takes 6 hours. I add 20 miles per hour to it to get 60. 60 into 240 gives me 4 hours. I think that's the right answer, but let me just double check by rereading this. If the speed had been 20 miles per hour faster, 60, the trip would have taken 2 hours less. What was the original speed of the train? Correct answer is answer A. Doesn't always work out to be the first one. It's just lucky it did here. Let's try this again. with one of the other answers to make sure it doesn't work. If I were going 60 miles per hour, 60 into 240, it would take me 4 hours, right? I am now going to go 20 miles per hour faster than that. I'm now going 80 miles per hour. 80 and 240 would be 3 hours. So if I went from 60 to 80, my time would be cut down by 1 hour. Reason why I like these 40s and 60s, no calculator test, I know there's got to be some sort of trick. Well, I notice that 240 is divisible by 40, not 50. Divisible by 60, it's also divisible by 30. So through a process of elimination and plugging these in, I get the right answer. Hopefully you're a 5 out of 5. Thanks for watching, supporting the channel. Share this video with anybody you might know who's interested in being successful on any standardized math exam. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit like. Any questions at all, please post them in the comments. I try and get videos out for standardized tests, all sorts of standardized tests every Tuesday at 4 p.m. And then I try and do an open class where you could ask questions on Wednesday at 3 p.m. So thanks for supporting the channel.